First and foremost, ninpo is of having an open mind to new ideas and philosophies. The true starting date of ninpo cannot be traced by any means, for it is a gathering of philosophies predating the first ninjutsu clan of the 7th century. It was not called ninpo until sometime after the 7th century or the 8th century. The philosophies of ninpo were very carefully chosen and saved to be passed on by the jonin. It had to be philosophies that best fit their ways of life. If we look closely at ninpo, we see a lot of hints that the ideas and philosophies were taken from Sun Tzu, Bushido, and the Book of Five Rings. It must be made clear that the Bushido philosophy was practiced in ninpo well before the philosophies of Sun Tzu. As the shinobi no mano drifted further and further away from the philosophies of the Bushido, it was blended with the philosophies of Sun Tzu. The philosophies of Sun Tzu did not make its way into Japan culture until the year 735. It was brought over by Kibi no Makabe from his visit to China. The Sun Tzu was not fully introduced into ninpo until sometime after the year 754. The samurai would not use a great deal of the Sun Tzu philosophies because it went against the samurai code of ethics held within the philosophies of Bushido. This made plenty of room for the shinobi to utilize the philosophies of Sun Tzu. Since the 10th century, the philosophies of ninpo had been spoken or written in different ways and different words, but the heart and base lines had never changed in their meanings. So far, there has not been any reason to make any changes or upgrades to it. The only thing that has been needed is to show how each piece applies to each situation, to each generation. But in order for that to be done, it must be spoken by the instructor as he or she sees fit for the time. Ninpo is a delicate balance of philosophies concerning war and peace, conservation and utilization. One must have inner peace within themselves before he or she can spread peace, but at the same time study war, so that he or she can bring back peace if he or she loses it. Knowledge of how to utilize all things while knowing how to conserve and replenish all things brings a perfect balance. When you hear the words, the philosophy of the samurai, or the philosophy of Kung Fu, most people think that it is some sort of secret wisdom behind the style, when in reality it is nothing more or not much more than the science of that style, how each technique works. And for some styles of martial arts, it may just that within a few stories with educational messages in them. The philosophy of ninja, nin meaning ninja or shinobi, and po meaning philosophy.